When you're working on your reserve plan with uPlanIt, you can test your ideas about a suitable funding plan without consequence. Our clients enjoy looking for different options, that is, not being locked into the funding plan exactly as recommended in the reserve study. What we really like hearing is the value that uPlanIt brings our clients as they find which ideas work and which ideas don't work. Follow along as Jackie and I demonstrate what it looks like using uPlanIt to calculate different funding plan ideas. But let's now talk about adjusting your funding plan. So in the funding plan, what we're going to deal with here is showing how you can use uPlanIt to adjust your funding plan. Now we were focusing on components with the expenses, and now we're going to focus on the finances, how to prepare for those anticipated costs. And what we're going to do in the funding plan is talk about working with your starting balance, changing assumptions for interest and inflation, making changes to your reserve contribution rate, or changing the whole profile. So, Jackie, ready for a demo?
I am ready for a demo.
Okay.
I can tell you as an association manager, former association manager, you are at your budget meeting and you've got some homeowners who are participating and they say, well, we don't like the contribution rate. What do we do? How can we change that? And the benefit of this is that you can do it right while you're there. Show the homeowners, we've changed this. Look at what it does to our funding. So I think that this is a super good tool to use, particularly for your interested homeowners.
Right. No guessing. You can actually see what's going to happen. Exactly. Let's pick this sample condo, and let's pop right into uPlanIt. And let's take a look at this place. They have site assets, building interiors, building exteriors, pool area. So let's go right in, and let's say they were able to, you saw there's 1% interest. Let's say they're trying to figure out what happens if we get 1 point. Well, let's take a look at it. They are on a full funding plan at $54.60 per month. And let's see what happens if they're able to get 1.5% interest. Whoops, that's not real.
That would be fantastic.
That would be fantastic. It's also not real. What do you want to do? New starting balance. Let's say they found a CD that they'd forgotten about.
Okay. Yep.
50 grand.
Round to that. Yep.
So let's make it 126, 100. Good for them. Let's save. Let's start seeing what kind of difference this makes. Oh, wow. You can see that it was $54.60. What's a comparable full funding plan now with this scenario? And $52.30. We could probably even go a little bit less, $5,200. Recalculate, or maybe even a hair less. But yeah, this is a reasonable plan. So let's, what do you say? Do you think this board can do that, or what do you think? They were coming, I think this property was coming from making only reserve contributions of about $2,000. So my thinking is they might find a jump to 50, even 5,200 a little too strong.
Right. That's a bit high of an increase, right?
Yeah. Okay. Let's see what happens if we go down to 4,000. Ooh, crash and burn. Okay, I was going to test 3,000, but clearly 4,000 doesn't quite work. But 4,000 does work for about 10 years. So you want to try what we call an exercise plan?
Yep, that sounds good.
Okay, let's do that. So an exercise plan is what we call a funding profile. Let me back up a little bit. This is a funding profile that we call nice and smooth. It floats gradually upward with inflation. Right now, it's 3% for the first 25 years and then 2.5% for these last 5, and you can't really tell the difference. Let's do something different. Let's go 5% for the first 10 years and see if that gets us. Not quite.
Mix it up a little bit, but not enough.
Yeah. Let's say 10%. Maybe for 5 years. Try that. Ooh, boy, I like that.
That's a
You would
big
almost think
difference.
that we had rehearsed this one. But let's say they say, okay, that works, but
That 4,000 is still a little too much
4,000
for
is a little
us.
hard for us. So let's do 3,500 and let's go 3,750, something like that. You can see how this is kind of a workshop type of deal. And if I was to look at this, I would say this is a couple of danger points, but they're out 10 plus years. They're able to start at a realistic number and work it up for a few years. Jackie, might this be a plan that a board could begin to start working with?
Well, they could start this way, right? They've got if they're not they've got those big projects going along, and it's a good start, right?
Yeah.
But
Well, how about this? How about we let them run for 10 years at 10%?
that's going to make a big difference.
Oh, that's okay, good. Well, that tells me that they weren't far from having enough to get through that tough point.
Right.
Oh, even 6. That's not too bad. They'll have to be careful on these 2 years, but this is a reasonable plan that can get them with sufficient funds for their projects. And oh wow,
Big year right there.
that's their big year. And here's their second big year, and that's
100,000
exactly why they have the
Yeah.
drops.
Yeah.
Okay, well, they could then go back and start seeing if their components have any kind of flexibility or not. But again, this is exactly what we want to do here, kind of show what to do with the funding plan. Again, if you like it, print it, get a record of it. I'm going to show it just for the purpose of this demonstration that we can reset it to what we started with. And we'll go back to the control panel and reset. And that's only if they want to leave a clean house. And here we are back at the Reserve Study Original, which is exactly what you would see if you printed the PDF. Okay? At Association Reserves, we make the present less stressful and the future more secure. If you want to join us in this mission, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Leave a comment down below on what you'd like to see us address in a future video. Let's plan for your best future.